Hello enemies and book lovers, my name is Ash and welcome back to my channel. It's the last TBR of the year. It is December, it is the last month of 2023 and I think I'm ready for it. I don't know. All I know is that I'm hoping that 2024 will be better for not only me but a lot of us that have been struggling this year. It's been very stressful for me. The last few months have been incredibly stressful to the point where I don't know how I'm holding it together, but I'm okay. I'm holding it together. I'm preparing for this Christmas to be my worst Christmas of my life. This is my nephew's first Christmas. I'm not gonna see him. I'm not gonna be able to give him a gift because I have no money right now. I'm very much struggling in every regard. I'm not gonna complain too much. I don't wanna make this about me, pity party, but it's been a very difficult few months. I'm just hoping that the books I pick will be something I can absorb myself into and distract myself with and hopefully get some videos up and kind of somehow find a way to be okay in December. And I'm hoping that anyone else that's struggling for the holiday season will be okay as well, because holiday seasons is actually one of the hardest for a lot of people that don't have family or friend support I don't really have much of. So if you're experiencing that, then I wish you the best and I hope you're okay. Let's move on to the not so sad stuff, okay? This is the first time I'm going to be doing my Sims TBR in the last I think 3 or so months now. It's been at least September or August since I've done my Sims TBR. If you've never been here for my Sims TBR video, it's where my Sims in my game decide on different genres, different games, different prompts that eventually will choose what books I end up reading. So I usually do about 3 to 4 a month. I try to do 4 unless my month is very busy. So this month I'm going to be doing 4. Karina is the main character. She has 2 cats and she has 2 boyfriends. I'll explain that later. But I do need to roll to see how many children she's gonna have. So right now I'm gonna roll how many children she's gonna have. So the next episode, not December, but next year, it's gonna be her family arc. She's gonna have children. Oh boy, I feel almost bad for her. She also might roll 0. She might never have children. She can have 0 to 4 kids, and she can also adopt children. If she gets 4, like I said, I think I'm actually going to cry. I might delete my channel because 4 children in The Sims, 2 men and 2 cats. Actually 3 cats because Darian has a cat. Oh my god. So that's 5 people in a household and then 4 children. No, thank you. So I actually fixed it. I had landed on 3, but the thing is there was no 0s, there was no 1s, and there was no adoption, which is I usually have that on my phone. So I fixed that. Like I said, if I get a 4, I jinx myself. So let's just roll. Let's just roll and see what I get. So let's go. We got one kid, which is gonna be a little bit weird because there are 2 men. So I'm not really sure who she's gonna end up having the kid with. It could be just up to fate. I might just make it up to fate. I'll have Wicked Whims on and just see what happens. I think that's what I'm gonna do. She's gonna have a baby with one of them, but both dads will be the dad because, you know, they're in a polyamorous relationship, okay? We don't judge here. I'm also going to be unwrapping a book, as you can see behind me. It'll probably be the last book in the video that I choose. I'm very excited. I've been wanting to see what I'm gonna read. I've been dying to know. So I will explain that at the end and then I will unwrap one. But until then, let's just get into the TBR portion and my Sims. Hello, it's been a long time. Right now I'm actually at Darian's house. Darian is the second love interest, yes. Karina, who is our main character right here. I will introduce you to her if you've never seen her before. This is Karina. She is polyamorous and she's with 2 men. Mitchell and her are definitely a thing. They're already boyfriend, girlfriend. And then we have Darian, who is the most recent guy. So they're just going to his house now. I brought the cats. We have Maribel, who is the female cat, and then we have Fitz, who is sleeping. So the babies all eventually happen. I will be rolling after this or before this. I hope it wasn't too bad. But whatever that was, I'm probably going to be having you all name the babies as well. Probably based off book characters. But where are you going? Oh, for Christ. Okay. So I just wanted to say hi to Darian, and obviously no one wants to right now for some reason. I'm gonna have Mitchell knock on the door because Karina just went to nap on a bench and now she's flirty. Okay. This is his house. He definitely has a bachelor pad. I 1-bedroom house. So he has 2 bedrooms, but he has a whole thing for his cat with a no dogs allowed sign. Aw, Maribel. She's so cute. And he's cooking. We love a man who cooks. He does have a cat. There's his cat. There's his cat. This is Lulu. This is Darian's cat. It's kind of ugly, but in the cutest way possible. I love her so much. I love her. Oh, they're being cute together. Okay, well anyway, I'm gonna introduce myself to his cat. This is a good sign to see if it'll work out in the relationship.
Huda pie blorid.
Yes, they like each other. So they're gonna have 3 cats. Oh no, Maribel. Uh-oh. So I brought my cats over and now they're just causing mischief. And Mitchell's not happy about it. So that way we can actually start the TBR now. I just wanted to show you his house before we make him move in with us, and also show you his cat because Lily was adorable and I kind of love her mustache. She's so cute. I'm gonna have Karina choose 3 and then Mitchell's gonna choose 1. Every time I make Mitchell do it though, he always chooses doubles and I don't count double prompts, so hopefully he doesn't pick a double again. So I'm going to have Karina choose the first book. She is going to bed. She's going to bed. She's not that tired. She's so dramatic. Okay, can we not go to bed right now? I'll have Mitchell choose the first book, okay? I'll have Mitchell pick the first prompt. If you've never watched this before, essentially my character just reads a book and the book associates with a different prompt. So let's choose the first one that I'm going to be reading for the last month of the year, December. So let's go and do this. Read something. Mitchell, I have faith in you. I have faith in your choices right now. Okay, so let's see what the first book is going to be. The first book is going to be Scratch Off. Oh my god, I don't think I've ever done a scratch off. I've never done a scratch off before. I am excited for this. I'm so excited about this. So if you don't know what the scratch off is, it's where I have 3 different scratch cards. Oh, you can go pee. You can go pee. It's where I have 3 different scratch cards. So these are the 3 I have. I have a fantasy scratch card, I have a romance one, and then I have subscriber's choice or like my viewer's choice. So this is all ones that you said that I should try. I think I'm gonna go with your choice. So I'm gonna have to choose one of your favorites. And I'm really excited to finally be doing that because it's been a long time and I finally got to it. I can finally get to it. So I'm gonna go and do that right now and show you which one I scratch off. Here we are with our scratch off and look at the lighting. It's beautiful. Gorgeous. So here we go. We have a D20 and let us roll it and see what we get. Ooh, a 4. 4 is my favorite number. So I'm gonna be scratching off this one. So let's see what that one's going to be. So before showing the book, I wanted to show who it was, and this is from Green Eggs and Sam. Green Eggs and Sam, she hasn't really been posting much lately. I would definitely recommend her channel, regardless if she posts or not. I really like her stuff, so hopefully she will be back eventually when she's ready. So let's see what book she decided for me. Oh boy, let's see. I feel like I know what this might be. I'm thinking this might be Daughters of No World because she's the first person I ever saw talk about this book. Yep, it's Daughter of No World. Okay, oh my god, I can't believe I'm going to be starting this. Jeez Louise. So the book I got was Daughter of No World. Like I said, this is from Green Eggs and Sam. Sam was the first person I ever saw actually talk about this book. I'm a little bit nervous to start a new series, but I am really looking forward to trying this one and this author, so let's go and talk about it. So for my first prompt for The Sims, I got Scratch Off. For Scratch Off, I haven't actually done a Scratch Off in a long time, and I really love that game. It's really fun. I also want to point out that if you have any recommendations that you want to give me, either recommend me a book that you think I'll like, recommend me one of your favorites, or just like something that you like, any book that you enjoy, regardless if you are a booktuber or if you're just a watcher, just let me know what book that is because I'm going to have to replace this book with another book and I don't have any right now. So if you want to give me any recommendations that I can fill out my scratch off with, please do. I'll write them down, that way when I do more scratch offs in the future, I can replace them. So I read almost anything. There are certain genres I don't love, but I would still almost read anything. So I might not choose yours if it's like something I really don't think I'll like, but most likely I'm pretty open, so I might choose it. I also just steal things off of people's booktube videos. So if someone on a booktube video says that they love a book and it's like the best book ever and then they love it so much, I'll just steal it from them and then put it on this as well. So you don't have to actually tell me, I might just kidnap it from you. Just saying. And I'm pretty sure this is one of those ones. This is Daughter of No World by Carissa Broadbent. And this one is a very popular series. Actually, not this one. Serpent in the Wings of Night is a very popular book or series by this author. This is the series that came before that series, and I wanted to start with this one first. The person that I took this one from is Green Eggs and Sam. She doesn't really post anymore, but at the time, I really loved watching her content. I'm still gonna put her down below in my description just in case she ever comes back, but regardless, I still took this from her. She is the person that talked about this author before anyone else did, and I was really interested in this, but I never got to it, unfortunately. I never get to the books I want to read. That's just how I am. I don't know much about it. All I really know is it's a romantasy. The main character is in a form of slavery, I think. She gets out of it, and then she tries to join this like magical guild or something of the sort. I have no idea. I know there is like a game aspect to it. There is a love interest. I think he controls fire magic or something like that. Listen, I don't really know anything about it other than that. That's all I really know. I like to go into my books as blind as possible, so if I ever do a wrap-up, I'll explain it better. But yeah, this is what I got for my scratch off. Like I said, if you have any recommendations, books that you really love or enjoy or think I might, even manga, anything like that, I read almost anything, give me whatever you can. Throw whatever you want at me. Moving on to my next Sims part of the video. Karina just woke up and now Mitchell's going to bed. So this is the perfect time to be doing our second prompt. So this is great. All right, so Karina, we are going to have you decide the second book, the second prompt. Now, my wicked whims will pop up. There it is. No shame, okay? No shame that I have that on here. But I do have to be very careful when I do anything. Don't stop teleporting, Karina. I'm gonna have her wait until she sits down before I check it. There's a chair right next to her, but she decides to sit on the... It's fine, it doesn't matter. The next one is Poll Pick. Have others on social media platform decide 2 to 4 books I have to read. This one's actually very nice because I can technically choose anything I want. I usually do this on my Instagram because if I ever do it on my community tab, which I used to do, it always ended up being a tie. So I just do it on my Instagram. So by this point, I already did it already, but I'll have this up very soon so that people can vote on it, and I will show you the results and tell you what book I chose right now. The next prompt I got for my Sims game was Poll Pick. Poll Pick is actually pretty easy. I usually go on my Instagram because every single time I go on any other platform, it's always a tie, almost every single time. And this time on Instagram, it was a tie again. Once again. So I went on my Discord, and there's only like a few votes, but I don't care because they thankfully decided for me. I had a choice between 2 books. I had Clockwork Princess, and then I had the next book in the Foxhole Court, or like All for the Game series. And I kind of wanted All for the Game series in a way because I know V. Like, I kind of want to like talk to her about it. If you're watching this, V Library Fox, you know what I'm trying to say. Like, I want to get to that series and like talk to you about it because I want to ramble about it to someone. But alas, the winner, Clockwork Princess. Now, the thing is, I really wanted to get to this too. I really wanted to fit this in. It's a really chunky book. It's over 500 pages, but this is the last book in the Infernal Devices, and I am terrified because obviously I've heard things about this book that people have cried about it, and so I'm a little bit nervous about it, but at the same time, I'm really, really desperate to get to the end of this because I've had this series, no joke, or this trilogy out, no joke. I've been reading this trilogy probably for over 6 years now, maybe more than that. So I'm like, I need to get to it. I'm hoping to finish Mortal Instruments within the first 1 or 2 months of the next year because I really need to get to the end of this series. These series need to end and I need to get to them, right? Like, these are the series I've been reading the longest of all the books I've ever read in my life. These are the oldest series on my list. So it's about time I finally get to this one and finish off Infernal Devices. I am nervous. I don't know who to root for. I don't know if I like Jem or Will more. I used to like Jem a lot more, and I think I do still, but like since the last book, Will kind of stole my heart a little bit. So I don't know. I have a bad feeling someone's gonna croak, but I'm hoping that won't happen, but it's probably gonna happen. I have a soft spot for Jem. I can't help myself. He's just a sweetheart, and I'm scared for his life. So this is gonna be my book for Poll Pick, and I'm hoping I'll get to it. If I don't get to this one, I swear I'm going to hit myself in the head with this, and that will definitely hurt. I won't actually do it, but I almost wouldn't blame the book at this point. It's been years. So that prompt is fulfilled. Let me move on to the next one. Only 2 prompts left. I forgot to bring the Christmas tree up. Damn it, I forgot to bring the Christmas tree into the game. Let me just like quickly bring up a Christmas tree because I forgot it was December. There, now it's the Christmas spirit. I fixed it. It's Christmassy enough, I guess. Anyway, let's just have her choose another book in the 3rd prompt. Now she's gonna pick the 3rd one, and she's gonna do so in front of her tree. This is actually kind of cute. Okay, which one did you pick, Karina, this time? Okay, this one's a genre prompt. It might be very confusing to you, but if you look under the title, it has the genre. This is a genre prompt. This is a children's book. Children's book is either a middle grade book or a YA book. So this is really up to me. If I pick a YA book, this literally will count for me. So this is very easy, thankfully. This is also a very nice month to me. Maybe it's like the Christmas spirit. Maybe it's like the holidays. I don't know, but I kind of appreciate it. Gives me bad vibes for the next year though. I don't know about that. So let me show you what that is, and then we will go on to our 4th and final prompt. So for my next Sims prompt, it was a genre prompt. That one was a children's book. Technically speaking, for me, anything below adult books will be children's books. I've already mentioned this before. I do not think YA is for children. It's kind of like the prompt I took off of the genre. I don't read YA very often, so I like having this prompt on my list. I also don't really read middle grade, like hardly ever. I'm not usually a huge fan of middle grade, but I do like YA. I used to read it almost exclusively in the past, and now I kind of try to go towards adult books. But for this one, for YA middle grade, I'm going to do an easier one for me because I have a pretty big TBR for December already, so I decided to give myself a little bit of slack. And for that, I'm going to be reading Chalice of the Gods. This is the first time we're seeing a Percy Annabeth kind of book in years. I think maybe even like 5 or so years since, I think it's actually been longer than 5 years. Since like the first 5 books, we haven't really had a like main focus on Percy and Annabeth. The second series, the 5 books, they're behind me. What are they called again? What is it called? Since the Tower of Nero, we haven't seen much of Percy. And even that, in that 5-step series, it's mostly focusing on Jason, I think. So this one's the first time we're actually focusing again on Annabeth and Percy, and it's really exciting. And I don't really know what happens in this, but like, give me the Percy and Annabeth anything. Just give me anything with them. I'm so excited about this. It's under 300 pages, so I should be able to knock this out in like 2 or 3 days. I'm also going to be taking part in Bookemon, which is another readathon that's happening. I don't know why. I'm making a readathon. I'm taking part in like 3 next year. It's going to be a wild time. I don't know why I do this to myself, but a Bookemon is like a readathon where you read books and then you get certain type of items that you can lure Pokemon out with. So you can pretty much acquire Pokemon. And I love Pokemon. I loved Pokemon since I was a child, and I grew up watching it. It's the first anime I've ever watched in my life, and my boyfriend loves Pokemon too, so I just felt like it made sense to join it. And for the prompt for my element, I think I chose the team Earth. And so for that, in order to get my starter Pokemon, I have to read a book with trees on the cover. This is a stretch, okay? I don't want to add more books to my TBR, but there are trees. There are trees, look. There's a tree there, there's a tree there, there's a tree there, okay? It's a tree. It counts. They said it's okay to stretch it a little bit. Even then, it's not stretching it. There's actually a tree on the cover, okay? It counts. There's a bunch of hosts. They actually created the Pokemon themselves. They actually like made them from scratch, which is amazing and very commendable. Readathons are really difficult, I've learned, and having that many hosts and having this much thought into it, like definitely recommend. I will be putting it in the channel down below where you can find all the information for this. There is also a Discord for it, so I would definitely recommend checking it out. So this is my Sims choice for middle grade and YA, and we're gonna move on to the last prompt for my Sims game, and then we're going to go on to my other books because I have other books I want to read other than these 4. Unfortunately, I have a lot of books I want to read in December. Let's move on to the last prompt for my Sims game. Okay, so we are done our 3rd prompt. We are going to be going to our last one now. Hey, hello Maribel, hopefully you're doing well. She's doing good, and then also Fitz is doing good. I hope they had their really nice first Christmas together. Just like, look at this. It matches his eyes and his coat. It's just like the cutest thing ever. Look at that little pudgy face with those little folded ears. Like, he's such a cutie. Let's go to our final one. I'm sorry, I love animals so much. I just love them so much. And then we have like a little planter that looks like Maribel. Isn't it cute? Okay, so I'm gonna have her choose one more, and that will be the last prompt, and then I will have her, don't do that. And then I'll have her clean up everything. This might be a duplicate, but let me just see if it is. Let's see what the final prompt will be. This is another scratch off. This is a duplicate. I do not count duplicates. This is a scratch off one. This is a duplicate. So let me have her choose another one. I won't even make you do the dishes as long as you pick out a book for me. That's all you need to do, okay, Karina? Thank you. Oh, Karina. Karina, please. Okay, so this is the last one.
And Bob.
Oh my god, I thought she was thinking of diapers, and I was like, you're not pregnant. You can't be pregnant. Let me just see what it is first. This is TBR jar. I love TBR jar. It's so fun. My TBR jar is not prompts. It's actually the books on my TBR. I think there's like 250 of them. So I'm gonna decide what book I add on my TBR. This is gonna be completely random. And I'm gonna end it off here with Karina petting Maribel because adorable. I'm gonna have Darian move in with them in the next episode, and then kids are going to eventually happen. I don't know when it's gonna happen. It's gonna be natural, but I'm a little bit nervous. I'll be honest with you. So with that in mind, let me show you the what the last book is and continue on with the rest of my TBR. Hi, I moved like 2 feet to the left. Actually, it's like less than a foot to the left, actually. I'm gonna do my TBR right now. I do my prompts like a few weeks prior to my actual TBR sitting down talking to you about it because I need to make sure I get these books in time in case it's a library book. So I do this right after I film my video, like halfway through the month, and that way at the end of the month I can film my TBR video. So that's why I always like look like a mess halfway through. Then I go to my bookshelf. It's kind of like I teleport in a way. Anyway, whatever. This is my TBR jar. Like I said, there's over 250 or so books in this TBR jar. I have a little legend if you want to look at it. There's my legend to see what colors represent what. And the only thing I'm not really looking forward to is like maybe, I want to say I'm not really looking forward to fantasy, like adult fantasy. I don't know if I want to be starting an adult fantasy. I think I just read so much fantasy in November that I kind of want to break. And I already started a few fantasy books and like fantasy series in November that I might be continuing. So I'm not really sure if I want any. And that's like purple. So if I get purple, we know it's over. Blue, I'm also a bit nervous about because blue is like other. That's like sci-fi, horror, classics. So I'm a little bit nervous. So I'm going to pick this one out and see which one it is. The last one I chose, I didn't actually end up reading. I DNF'd it. That was Jacoby. I didn't not like Jacoby. I think I was just not really in the headspace because things that were happening in the book were happening in real life, and it still is, and I just can't do that right now. It's a little bit too stressful for me, so I just had to DNF it temporarily. So for the time being, I will be now choosing a new book, and hopefully I will not DNF it. There's always a chance. I DNF books a lot more than I used to. I used to never DNF books. The things that have changed since then, my little old self would have been so upset to find out that I love DNFing now. So let me go choose a book and stop talking and rambling and just choose what one I'm going to be reading. Oh my god, why did I do that? Why did I look right at it and then shake it and let it all fly everywhere? I found it. I'm gonna put that back. And I'm actually gonna choose one legitimately this time, and I'm gonna close the lid when I shake it. Let me decide what I'm gonna be choosing. Is this one? This is one. This is number 254. So this is a very recent one. I probably actually just put this in like a few weeks ago. This one is a contemporary adult romance. Contemporary romance? I don't really read much of that. I'm a little bit nervous. I do not own this book. If it was owned, I would have had it yellow or orange, and I don't have either of those. I'm gonna try showing you first, and then I'm going to look at it myself. So I always make sure you get to look at it first. So let's see if I can show it to you. Oh, let me like do this thing. This is The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo by Taylor Jenkins Reid. This is a very popular book. The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo is going to be my TBR jar pick. That is actually insane because that's like a very popular book. A lot of the books in my TBR jar are ones that like I don't really hear anyone talk about, but this one I definitely hear people talk about. Yeah, I just added that like less than a month ago, so that's fun. All right, now that I picked the book, let me talk about it in my next clip. So for my last one, I got TBR jar. I want to talk a little bit about it, but let me just show you what it is first. This is The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo. This is by Taylor Jenkins Reid. This one is a book that is very popular, I know that, and I'm looking forward to it, although there is a little bit of criticism behind this book. There are people that don't like the representation in it, and I want to make sure that I am aware of that and that I acknowledge it. I don't know if it's like very, very bad representation. I'm gonna look more into it. Obviously, I want to make sure I'm saying this properly for my wrap-up video, but I do know that there's an issue with the main character, I think, in this book. I want to just bring that up. I got a library copy, not supporting the author. I'm not saying that the author is problematic. Obviously, listen to own voices talking about this problem that's happening in this book. Now, I'm going to give it a shot. I do know a decent amount about this. I know it's about Evelyn Hugo. She wants to write a biography about herself, so she talks to a reporter, or she talks to someone about it, and it's pretty much her recounting her story of her past and her seven husbands of her past. And I know that there's a little bit of LGBTQIA rep in this because I've heard a little bit of spoilers around it, but I don't think I know enough spoilers to ruin it for me because I have only heard like basic ones. I'm still excited to give it a shot, and I'm hoping I will like it. I'm not usually someone that reads this type of stuff. Is this like a historical fiction kind of thing? I'm not sure. I'm looking forward to trying something new that I've not really read much of before. TBR jars here next to Fenris and Astarion. I think I have a thing for white-haired elves. I think that's pretty safe to say, honestly. So that concludes the Sims portion of this video. I still have a few books I want to read. Those are 4 books. I think I have, how many books do I have on this list? I have 8 books on this list, and there's actually like another like 10 plus I want to read. I'm planning on doing a video for manga, pretty much. So there's gonna be like 16 manga I want to try to read before the end of January. So I have like a month and a half to do it, but still, there's like 16 of them. I also want to take part in the winter solstice for the magical readathon, so that is happening in the middle of December, so I'm also going to be doing that, hoping to maybe get like 2 books read. I don't plan on reading a lot of books. I'm not very good at reading a ton of books. It's not my thing. In a small amount of time, I try, but I can't do very well with it. I don't really know what ones I'm going to be using for what prompts yet, so I'll talk about it in my wrap-up, I guess. So we got to the first 4 books I want to read in December. Now let's move on to the last 4. For the Magical Readathon, there's an annual kind of readathon event that you can take part in on G's channel, on Book Roast's channel, and it is to get a certain like animal by the end of it. I have been doing this kind of progressively over the year, and the last prompt is to read a book with an owl or a cover on it because I took that path, and if I do this, I can get an owl cat for my character, Corvus, who's not only the character from the Magical Readathon, but I'm also using him for my own readathon, just so I can kind of like mix the 2 readathons together for the same character to kind of make it more interesting for me. For this, I'm going to be reading The Pet Detective Agency. This one is a male-male romance between 2 male characters. I don't know why I said that, that's very redundant. Now, one of the characters kind of takes in animals, and the other one is his boss, or he's his boss. I don't really know. I read this and it was a very short synopsis, and I don't really know much about it. All I know is about one of them takes in animals and the other one has a crush on him. It's like a 3.7 rating, not very high rating, but this was free on my Hoopla app, so I decided to give it a shot. This is going to be one of the many manga I'm going to be reading, so if you want to look forward to a manga video, that's going to be happening in January. I'm looking forward to it. Another book I wanted to read during the readathon and finish within the week of the readathon is going to be The Ethnic Cleansing of Palestine. This one is, I've actually started a little bit of it. I think I've gotten about 11% of the way through it currently. This is discussing what happened in Palestine over 75 years ago now. I've only listened to a little bit of it, but like it's been so eye-opening and horrible. I kind of wish I learned about it sooner. Sometimes I kind of hate how world events kind of open my eyes to things I should have known prior. I'm glad I'm reading something like this because I want to be educated. This is a very difficult topic to talk about for me because I don't want to say things because I don't really feel like I'm educated enough on it, but I also want to become educated on it, hence why I'm reading things like this. And I really want to get through this, and I want to read more about this, and not only Palestine but also other places in the world. I like listening to nonfiction, and I think one of my goals for 2024 is to read more nonfiction. I like to listen on audiobook because nonfiction for me is very dense. I do really well listening to it on audiobook rather than physically, so I'm going to be listening to this on audiobook during the winter solstice of the readathon and hoping to finish it then. I'm glad I'm reading it. This is a very important read and I'm looking forward to continuing it because I think it has a lot of information that shows that it just goes to show that this is something that's been happening for a long time. It's not just a current thing, a recent thing. It has been happening for decades and decades and decades. This is one of the few books I definitely want to read. Without a doubt, I need to finish this in December because I really want to make sure I get this done. Another book I want to read in December is very random, considering the fact that I actually never plan on reading the series ever. In November, I had this like weird mood reading all these fantasy books, all these paranormal romance books about dragons. I've been having an interesting time in November. I did stick to almost reading exclusively dragons in November, except for this one. I just needed something that was not dragons, okay? And I am currently reading The Fine Print by Lauren Asher, and I am loving it. It's just been so much fun. It's just like a breath of fresh air. So because I read The Fine Print, I'm going to be moving on to Terms and Conditions by Lauren Asher. This is the second book in the trilogy, and I'm excited about it, other than the fact that the next one, or this one, is about the brother. I think his name's Declan. It's kind of referencing Disneyland, but the place in the books are called Dreamland, and three brothers inherit the amusement park of Dreamland. Kind of gave them conditions in order to get the inheritance. They have to do certain things. The first book, he has to kind of make the park better. The second one, he has to marry someone. I don't know what the third one is yet. I've been really enjoying it. So like I said, never really planned on reading these books, but I was like last night, okay, so I've been having a really rough time, but last night I was literally like squealing and kicking my feet in bed because it was so freaking cute. Like, who knew bowling could be so adorable? Who knew like the simplest things could be the most cutest things in the world? Who knew a guy walking through an amusement park being stoic and serious, but then like smiling once in a while would be like the cutest thing ever? I didn't know until now. So I'm hoping to get to the second book in December and then maybe get to the third book in January if I want to. There's an actual helicopter outside. Like, this is why I can't film. So I'm gonna move on to my last and final book, or you guys, I've been trying to film this last part of the video for 5 minutes. That's happening, a dog's barking, a helicopter's going, what the, I'm gonna have to stop, 1 second. Vacuum comes back on, I think I'm gonna actually cry. I'm just trying to finish this video. That's all I want to do. The last book on my list, my 8th book, my final one, is going to be my unwrapping book. I'm really nervous about this. All these books are on my physical TBR, ones I have not gotten to yet, or ones I want to reread depending on how long ago I've read it. All these books are behind me, as you can see. There's the top row, and there's like a little bit on the bottom. There are 30 books in total. I think I've read maybe like a few of them, but yes, I'm going to be unwrapping one. Here's my trinket tray, my Folk of the Air trinket tray. With all of them, they are very dusty. I haven't touched these in a long time, so it makes sense as to why they're dusty. So I'm gonna pick one out. I'm gonna try showing you the number. The only ones I don't really want are the first like 5 books. Like, I don't want 5. Not only because the author's problematic, but because it's like the biggest book. So we don't want 5. Yeah, that one's way too big for me, so what do I know about that? Yeah, I'm not gonna read number 5. I will read anything else. So let's go on to one of them. Let's just pick one. This one's fine, I guess. Okay, here it is. Here it is. What is it? What is it? 25. That's one of my favorite numbers. Also my best friend's favorite number. It's also my birthday number. Maybe that's a good sign. All right, 25 is on the bottom, so let me go and get that right now. 25. Here it is. The wrapping paper is really blinding. I'm sorry. So I got number 25. Here it is up here. I also have the name of the books on the back, so I'm not going to look at them. Just in case I wanted to like get to certain books before doing this, so I know what books are in what, because I'm not going to unwrap all my books to find out what books are in what. So I'm not going to look on the back. I'm probably going to mute it when I unwrap it, because if not, it's going to be very loud. Yeah, that's a hardcover. It's a hardcover, and it's a pretty good size. So let's see what this one is. I don't remember. I wrapped these over a year ago now, so I don't really remember these at all. So let's see which one of this is. This is indestructible wrapping paper. This wrapping paper sucks. I'm never buying this again. I should have used parchment paper. I'm just going to show it to you first. I haven't looked at it yet. What is it? Oh shoot, I meant to say. Among the Beasts and Briars by Ashley Poston. I actually bought this book in indigo full priced because I liked prior work from Ashley Poston. I haven't read anything other than this duology from her. So I've read this duology by Ashley Poston. I got this from my Bible crate a long time ago, and then I bought myself the second book in the duology and painted the edges myself, and I really, really did enjoy this duology a lot by Ashley Poston. So I decided to auto-buy, at the time, this book that she wrote, and I don't know if I'll like it. I don't know anything about this book. I'll look at it. I'll look at the synopsis. I'll read the inside, okay? Honestly, I don't know what this is about still because my brain cannot retain information very well. I'm sorry. All I know about it is that there's a queen, there's a main character who has lost her family and friends, or her mother and friends, from the woods or something like that, like a cursed woods. There's like a place where famine and poverty and drought don't exist. That's all I really know about it, okay? I don't want to get too into it. I like to go into them blind, like I said. So I don't know much about it other than that, but it is like a fantasy setting, which is nice. I've only ever read sci-fi fantasy. So I don't know how I'm going to like her other works, but I'm looking forward to giving them a shot anyway and trying it. All right, so these are some of the books I'm going to be reading in December. Obviously, I'm going to show you my overall, what I'm going to be reading in December right here. I have 15 other books I want to read. Like I said, all the manga that I want to read. I won't show you what those are, obviously, until my video comes out, but still, that's a lot of books. I'm going to enjoy my books. I'm probably going to enjoy hanging out with you all, either on my Discord or on booktube channels or in comments. I'm just hoping that 2024 is a good year and that these books will be a really good end to the year. I'm also going to add my story graph down below. I'm going to add it to my other links because I have added story graph to my repertoire. I like seeing the stats. I like the half stars. I think you could give half stars. I'm not sure yet. I haven't actually rated a book yet, but I am enjoying story graph so far. I'm going to be adding that to the description below. If you want to add me on story graph, that would be nice. That'd be kind of cool, I guess. It doesn't matter though. You could do whatever you want to do. Thank you for watching my videos, regardless if you are new or if you've been here for a while. I just appreciate you. I always do. You've kept me company when no one else really has. I've been very lonely, so I appreciate you all for being here, I guess, in a sense, with me, even though it's not physically. Still, like, in a way, it helps me. Okay, so with that, thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a great day. Hope you have a great reading month in December and finish off the year strong, fingers crossed, and I hope to see you all soon. Goodbye, everyone.